This ain't no audiobook. This ain't a radio play. This is a Happy Cloud AudioToon. It's that time again for the Further Adventures of Rune, Return of the Miggins, brought to you by Happy Cloud Media and Chrome Toothpaste. The Further Adventures of Rune, Part 2, The Divine Conspiracy. Chapter 18, Canto I, The Road Less Practical. To get to hell, you find a path that leads down, burbled Brother Theodore. He flipped the page in his massive ad nauseum, bound in wood and leather and chains, all the best for containing the violence within. A reading from the Book of Aggression. Tell all you know to go to hell, and that you'll meet with them later. It's such a comforting passage, said Father Don. Brother Theodore snapped the book shut and glowered up at the black-clad priest. I suppose you have one better. Sure, said Father Don. He removed a cigar from his mouth and cleared his throat. This is one of my favorites. Ad infinitum, the Book of Geronimo. Chapter 5, verse 19. Never trust an obsequiant to give you directions. You'll wind up penniless in Hoboken. This is why I'm an atheist, said the Gax. Snee forgives you, said Father Don. Yeah, what about Blurg? Sure, why not? Ub thinks you're all scum, in case you'd forgotten. No one had. The 9 of them rode in a double-wide, lummoxless Bolognium carriage. The driver didn't care one way or another, so long as they tipped well and gave him 4 stars on Yowel. The carriage bounced and swayed on its way out of Roville, rocking Rune, Dusty, Scarlett, the Gax, Father Don, Brother Theodore, and the 2 Unkillables, or, as Rune thought of them, Thing 1 and the other thing. The carriage would carry them as far as the easternmost tip of Rath, just short of the Blasted Lands. So racked with misery and sorcery, it was no wonder that portals to hell were as easy to come by in Rath as pogo sticks at the Festival of St. Sains. Trust me. Here's another one, said Father Don. Ad absurdum, page 52, I think. From the second letter of Ruby to the Spurgins. Now, dear Spurgins, skip ahead. Fine. It's said that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's also true that the sidewalk to hell begins with a good time. With a flourish, he produced a bottle of cheap, consecrated wine and uncorked it with his teeth. To hell. To hell. Yeah, to hell. By the time it reached Eccles, the bottle was empty. He glared at his companion. Bluebottle, you swine! If it were indeed true, Rune mused, that the road to hell actually begins with debauchery, the broken beast would have held guided tours, and the closet in Mr. O's apartment would boast a greased fire pole. They'd scarcely crossed the border of Rath before the driver announced he'd go no further. Something's got the engine spout, he said, attempting explanation. The passengers grumbled, but they'd been prepared for such an occurrence. As they watched the carriage depart, abandoned as they were on a dusty road at twilight, looks passed among them as they silently debated what to do next. Don't look at me, said Rune. I was dead and a zillion clicks away in Krill, which was true. Rune died for the first time in Krill, in Eastern Thessaly, and descended directly to the lair of the underworld known as Dismadonna, ruled by Circe Saw, as below, so above. Getting there by way of Rath was going to be trickier. What else are these priests for? Oh, say, yeah, that's true, said Father Don, still besotted from the wine and the ride. He nudged Brother Theodore. What's yak about on how to get to hell? There are endless ways, the monk choked out. All encouraged. Yeah, sure, but anything like specific to our immediate purpose? We must lose our way. The group remained in place, perhaps with even less information than before. Perhaps once more for those of us in the cheap seats, Padre. Brother Theodore pointed with his gnarled staff the way ahead down the sooty road, towards the growing gloom of night. Into the darkness of error, said the monk, to the lower place, where the sun is silent. They all shivered. Say, said Father Don, that was a pretty good stuff, I gotta admit. So yonder, said Scarlett, pointing in a random direction. Andante, said Dusty, possibly trying to say Avante, but it was hard to say for sure. The monk nodded. And once we are lost, the way will become clear. Makes about as much sense as anything else, said Rune. He jabbed his thumb at the Unkillables. You two go on ahead, scout for danger. But if we do that, the danger will get to us first, complained Eccles, with resolved scowls. They hiked up their pikes, piked up their hikes, likeyed up their Nikes, and forged the trail ahead. Soon the trees will grow around us, Brother Theodore continued to mutter, and took the lead behind the Unkillables. Twisted they are, and reaching for the clouds that they will never touch. And then the mist will surround our feet, invade our nostrils, loot our pockets for spare change. With equal amounts of uncertainty, doubt, and dread, Rune, Dusty, Scarlett, and the Gax shouldered their burdens and brought up the rear. Before them, as he crested the hill, Brother Theodore continued both his monologue and his trudgery. Only once we've lost our way, will we truly find ourselves. The old monk nodded, concluding, and the real hell will begin. Nobody expected the road to hell to be pleasant, well-intentionedly paved or not. They brought with them enough provisions for a fleek's journey, and hoped that would be enough to reach the Dismadonna. Though there might still be bad feelings held towards Rune, she broke up with me! The Hell Princess and Scarlett had still been college roommates, and that was a bond thicker than shattered romance. She kicked me out for Snee's sake! Sure enough, the path beneath their feet grew rougher, and the idle stones larger and more jagged and pointy. Knotted roots sprung forth from the ground like small, knotted, springing things, eager to trip and whip and snag. The barometer dipped sharply, and the pollen count increased. Misery was all about them. Certainly, they were near. So near, in fact, that Brother Theodore exclaimed, "We are here." "Where?" asked Dusty. "Here," said the monk. "The threshold of hell. We are in the land of Nil." "Where?" "Nil." "No. Don't care for it." Scarlett patted his shoulder, took his hand. Rune watched the couple further enter the land of Nil. Then he pulled the Gax aside. "Where are we, journey-wise? Right now I'd say we're crossing the threshold into the unknown worlds. Or, thereabouts. It's where you gain wisdom, or some enchanted object, or a new and powerful companion. Like an old girlfriend." "Powerful old girlfriend," the Gax said. A fact of which Rune had no desire to be reminded. This concludes Chunk the Ninth. Next week, thrill your ears with the Further Adventures of Rune via your favorite audio delivery system.